gather of change. This is the sound of redemption. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. Igniting the fire within you. Exalting the melody of freedom. These are the things that will bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Down, down, down.
Let me tell you, it's in the air. Joy is in the air. Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Don't sleep on it, brother. You might get left, sister. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Justice. No need to be counted, cause I am down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down for the end of racism, for the end of bigotry, cause I am down. For the end of misogyny, that's right. For all the isms out there, just down, down, down. Let's bring it down. Rise up, people. No more foolishness, and let's bring it way down.
Riding the river of change into the cries of contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. We are the children of Eden, dancing and celebrating freedom. We are the ones that must bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. We've got to bring it down. Down. Stand up and shout. Stand up and shout. Rise together.
Accountability starts now. The Eric Dawson Radio Show.
Yeah. Rise up. Stand up, shout it loud.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized, and stereotyped, police don't even show up.
Up. There we go. There we go. There we go. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to another episode.
Thursdays, yay!
Thirsty Thursday? All right. Well, hey, look, I'm drinking.
That's right. Friday Eve.
I'm drinking Gatorade, so I'm in it.
He's entered the winner.
I'm drinking Gatorade because I have 4 cups of coffee, so I need to rehydrate. Anyway, welcome everybody to another episode of the Eric Dawson Show. We're almost at the end. What do you call it, Vincent? Friday Eve?
Friday Eve.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Friday Eve. Anyway, today I gotta say, and I normally don't plug it, but it is such a wonderful winter market. Guys, go and support the winter market up at in South Orange. It is fan. Have you been, Diane?
No, but I'll try it today. What time does it start?
I think it starts at 2.
What time is? Okay, what time is it over then? Like 8?
Yeah, something like that. But
Okay.
it is beautiful. They have live music. The artisans are there. They have beautiful things. If you're looking to get something for something unique for the holiday, you'll find it there. My my only challenge, I guess, with it is that I want black people to spend most of their money buying from black people. And
That's interesting that you say that. I had a conversation with somebody, but go ahead and I'll tell you my conversation.
and
Go
now,
ahead.
but so I'm saying go to the farmers market or go to the winter market, and at the winter market, I think probably if there are 30 vendors, 3 are black, right? Which is unfortunate, right? But use your discretion. But try to buy black. Try to support and the reason it's important to support the event is because if the event's not supported, then there will be no place for black vendors to go, right? So they have to be able to. The event has to be able to make money in order, or the vendors have to make money in order for it to be something that they consider doing over and over again. So we're connect. So it's weird, right? Because in a way we're connected to it, right? So we almost need them to be successful in order for us to be able to participate. Because unfortunately, and this is the truth, if there was just an all black winter market, all of those vendors would be broke. Because black people they don't support black people like that, right?
Okay, all right. So stop there.
Yes, an average of 6 hours a month.
There was a black market in Hillside. You guys
Uh-oh.
participated.
We
Well,
went.
Tell me what the results were, because I had a conversation before going into it. But you tell me what you saw, what you thought.
Well, I don't know what the final numbers were. I didn't ask, right? So I haven't analyzed that. But what I can tell you is this: we did the market. This is Grandma Emma's. We did the festival over the summer in Jersey City, and it was promoted as a black like black business something or another thing, right?
Black Business Summit.
And we went, and they were all black businesses, and there were mostly black people, and the black people were not supporting those businesses. Those black people were out there because there was live free music, and a lot of them brought brown bags with liquor in it, and I'm just telling you the truth, because when we ended, we talked to some of the vendors, and they said that it was just horrible. They said that that it was the worst event that they had been to thus far. That far into the season, and they would never do it
Mhm.
again.
Mhm. So, and I'm still gonna go back to Hillside because I asked Amina about it too, and she wasn't able to give me the numbers either. But I'm not even worried about the sales. I'm concerned about when you say they don't support. Did people come out for it to begin with?
Oh,
And the reason why, and I can't make my statement until she actually tells me what the atmosphere was, because I know what it was from my perspective and why it might not have been successful. But I have to wait, again
do
for
you
that.
know any
But
other vendors who went?
no,
Oh,
absolutely not, none.
yeah.
So here's the other thing. So you were talking about supporting black businesses. So I got a phone call the other day from a real estate agent that I'm friendly with. Oh, well, not just friendly, we're friends. And she needed to get insurance for a client because they had been trying to get insurance, and apparently based on a whole bunch of factors, he wasn't able to get it. Whoever he was working with went to like 15 companies, she told me, and couldn't get it done. Vincent, mute your phone. And when that happened, she came to me. She asked me if I could do it. While I'm on the phone, she's giving me the information. And then she gets a text from the other agent that says, "Oh, we've been able to land the insurance. We're good." So she says, "Oh, we just got it. We're good." I said, "Okay, no problem." So then she goes on to say, "I've been trying to make a conscious effort." She's a black woman. "I've been trying to make a conscious effort to support other black businesses. And I've been using this other insurance agent, an Asian guy, because he's quick, he's fast, he doesn't have conversation, he's not looking to engage, just do the business and keep it moving. All of this time, she's been using this one person. She says, and I think I want to send some more business to you. So with that, I said, okay, I appreciate it. And she says, send me your card, X, Y, and Z. Okay, well, I'll send you the card, but you got my information because you just called me on my cell phone. You didn't call me in the office, you called me on the cell phone. So I felt some kind of way about that. And let me tell you what I felt. I felt, one, so you go to other people for whatever the reason is, but then you say, oh, I want to support my own, and I want to throw you a bone, but I wasn't at the top of your list initially, which I don't understand
Well, I
what
mean,
that was about.
why don't you understand that, Diane? I mean, this is how we talk about all the time. We're conditioned to believe that other people are better than black people, right? That you're going to get better service, you're going to get better everything by going to somebody other than a black person. We're just conditioned to believe that.
Eric, not only are we conditioned to believe that, we go to black businesses and some of them confirm that.
Right,
But and let me tell you the other reason why I felt some kind of way about that. And I felt, I don't know exactly what the feeling was, maybe annoyed, but annoyed is not really the right word for it, is because this is a young lady that I have supported, and she has done, when I say businesses, she has sold Tanisha Yoni, that Yoni juice stuff.
mm-hmm.
I bought cases of that. I went to meetings for that. She sold real estate. I've sent her clients. She was on this religious trek and she moved out west. I supported her on that. She was selling jewelry. My mom supported her on that, as she had a spot where she would allow her to come and vend her services at the hospital that my mother oversaw. So I'm going back to, really, I was an afterthought when it came to insurance, and you've known I've done insurance, and all I do is insurance all my life. Like, this is very concerning to me.
Well, no, I mean, she did exploit you. She did not return the favor. You have been supportive of her. Yet, in terms of being a good friend, or even a good business associate, or even a good networker, she did not return that favor. And yeah, I'd be a little upset about that.
Well, but
So wait before you give your comment, Eric. My next thing is, and you said it, Vincent, I am very great at networking, and I love to put people and match them up with other people to help their businesses. That's why I started my stack for free, asking nothing in return, just to get them out there, so they could tell their story. But my thing is, on the inside, I'm thinking I'm always sharing my information, always connecting people. But these people don't connect me to stuff.
Right. So, but remember, we've had we had these conversations on DiGiovanni Day that you have to work on building up your network. If you have a network of people, and all those people are takers and not givers, then you're in the wrong network, right? You have to let that network go, and you have to get into a network where there's a more balanced sharing of information and resources. And what you'll find at some point, unfortunately, is you'll wind up networking yourself out of a predominantly black group. That and it just it happens, right? You will realize at some point that if and it's unfortunate, but it happens, and people don't want to have the honest conversation about it happening. But you trying to stay all black right now, there is a superficial consciousness in the black community, right? Which is focused on symbolism, not substance. And they don't know the difference, unfortunately, and they're emotionalized by it, Diane. And so they think they're on the same page as you are. But then when the rubber meets the road and you're looking for tangibles, well, they don't have anything. They're just excited, right? They just, they're just amped up.
Let me keep this real. Let me keep it real for a minute. See, the problem, and when we look at white networking groups, they are all into, especially the Jewish community, they are all into recycling their money within their community. Everybody knows somebody who's a Jew who needs some help, so they need you to give them some business, in which they give you great customer service and support for. Now, in the case that we run into, especially, and let me use Diane as a model. Diane exemplifies a level of excellence that should be in every business. Eric, you exemplify a level of excellence and hard work that should be a model with every black business. Yet, and Diane is probably the queen of networking. She will connect people and not ask for a dime. And that is the biggest problem that we run into with the people who are in our network. Some of them aren't into it to help the black community. They're into it to help themselves only.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So you have to be able to identify them, right? So for me, Diane, the way that I look at my network, I look at the individuals almost as being, like an entity that requires a board of directors in order for them to grow, right, and be successful. And being a part of that network, I am de facto on their board, right? So they give me a call. They say, hey, Eric, can you help out with this? Hey, Eric, do you know this? Hey, Eric, what do you think about that? I'm a sounding board. I'm a bunch of things, along with other people to help propel whatever their initiatives are forward, and them likewise. So if you look at it like that, any organization that has a weak board, right, is bound to fail, right? So your network should be your board of advisors, your board of directors, right? All of that. And if you have a strong board, right, people who have access to resources, you'll be more successful. I mean, Vincent, in part, when you were talking about the Jewish community and what they do, and what the Chinese community, Japanese community, they all do. But I have Japanese friends, I have Chinese friends, I have Jewish friends, I have Indian, not Native American Indian, but from India, Indian friends. I have Arab friends, and all of them, even though they work within their community, they have extended themselves to me, right? Why? Because I am an asset to them as well. I have something to offer them. And because they're, at the end of the day, these folks are interested in making money, they're interested in doing business, they will open the door if you are an asset. But they're quick to identify when you're a liability, and then they don't have time for you. What we do, because we share the same melanin, right? There's this belief that, I should just give you some of my time. But time is valuable, right? And we don't hold people accountable for how they waste your
That's right.
time.
There you go.
See, we don't hold them accountable for that. I do. Well, and I get ridiculed for it. Man, you didn't answer my phone call. Hey,
Eric,
listen, how many times do you get a phone call? And I don't answer them anymore. But get phone calls from folks, and hold on, caller. Get phone calls from folks, and they just say, "Hey, man, what's up?" What? Hello? May I help you?
Hey, it's Rob calling with PayPal.
Oh, hey, there's a personal call. Hey, Rob, I'll call you back after the show.
Welcome to the show, Rob.
No, I'll call you back after the show, Rob.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
So the thing, Eric, that kills me is that white business or people in business that are Melanie challenged, they tend to look for the networking connection. Black people, they look for the hookup.
Well, this is
You
true.
black like me, yo, hook me
Well,
up.
but you know what? No. See, I'm not going to, that's not exclusive to black. Jewish people go to Jewish people because they look for the hookup. Chinese people go to Chinese people because they look for the hookup.
No.
Yeah, they
Jewish
do.
people go to Jewish people because they're looking to bring the other one up.
No. They also go because.
Of course, they will get a discount.
Right, they go for the. Say, I'm not gonna. Yeah, they go for the
will.
hookup. I know Arabs who go to Arabs and they
I
get
don't
it.
even know you, but hook me up.
Right. See, so we got to define what the hookup is, right? Because I think all groups do that to some extent. Hey, Diane, does your phone keep dropping? What's going on with you?
I don't think it's you. I think it's me.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like you and a super spreader, Diane.
I sound like because I got my mask on. I'm getting my hair done, everybody. Yay!
Uh-oh.
Again.
Let's hope the revolution will not be televised this time.
But yeah, so I just we have to figure that out. But right now, it is challenging to do business with black folks. It's just challenging. But try. Try. We have to try. And you know what though? You know what? We have to be the folks who continue to push for excellence. Right? We can do one or two things. We can settle, and by doing that, all we're doing is we are perpetuating, right, mediocrity. Right? We are enabling mediocrity when we just settle. When we push, right, as uncomfortable as it is, right, then we're pulling the other person up, that business up to be better, to be competitive. Because what we do know is this, that they have to compete, and you can't compete on a mediocre level. You have to be excellent.
That's true. That's very true.
You know,
Talking about excellent. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Okay. Cardi B is going to be nominated as Woman of the Year for Billboard magazine.
Here we go.
In her comments, she talks about how she loves justice, but she also loves to pop her you-know-what. And I think it's like a slap in the face because Breonna Taylor's mom is going to be presenting her with the award. What do you think?
Okay, let me start by saying, let's get ready for the Rumble. And I'm anticipating the Jody's call after I make this comment. Cardi B is at the top of her industry, and there's no doubt about it. She is making money hand over fist. Now, I'm not a big fan of the messaging, and I'm definitely not looking for my daughter to follow her as a model of success, yet she is successful. No doubt about it. But being presented by Breonna Taylor's mom, a woman who has one of the greatest horrors, and they say that the two greatest horrors that you will see, and one of the greatest horrors is that your child dies before you. Or I cannot imagine that, nor do I want to actually experience that. But for a woman who went through such pain, and her child being a symbol of injustice to black people, to give an award to a woman who pops her pee for a living. Oh, God, that just sends so many signals to me that I'm just not liking. Yes, I am looking from a biblical perspective. I'm looking for a moral perspective. I would love to see more people get awards of being Woman of the Year, not for shaking their assets, but showing how they're an asset to the community. But I have to say also, Cardi B has a strong following. So if at some point in time she can change her message or get more into the injustice and using that platform to further the needle of black excellence, further the needle of black justice, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. All of that.
Yeah.
All of that. Listen. What stuff like that sets black people back decades, right? Lowers the bar, so you could slither over it now. There's nothing left to aspire toward, right? If that is it, if that gets you Woman of the Year, right? So all of the people who were telling their children to be astrophysicists and to be, doctors and lawyers and engineers and all these other kinds of things, right? Yeah, why do that? Just get on a pole and shake your ass, right? It's sad, and the bigger thing about it to me though is that there is no uprising from the black community that is rejecting it, right? So we'll rise up and we'll reject some nonsense, right? Because again, we're about symbols, right? So, this thing over here, which will not amount to anything, we'll go out and we'll protest, we'll stand in line and we'll chant and we'll do all that other kind of stuff, march. But this, to understand how damaging it could be, like on the heels of talking about how excellent it is for black girls, right, to see Kamala Harris as the vice president, right? So those same people who are going, hey, this would be, really great for black girls now because they could look and they can say, hey, I could aspire and achieve that. Those same people are two-faced because they're applauding Cardi B being Woman of the Year. Look at the juxtaposition there. So when you ask the question, why people are so confused, so many black young girls are so confused out there. Say, well, why are they with this man? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Well, we send mixed messages. Right? We can't even define what is excellent, right? Because we say both are excellent. And we accept both. It's crazy.
Here is the biggest conflict that has been plaguing black America since the Reconstruction. There was this big debate and fight between two of the biggest and prominent black figures. Edward Burghardt, William Edward Burghardt, Du Bois, and Booker T. Washington. And the conflict at that time was WEB said that no, we reach prominence by black excellence. And Booker T was saying, no, we will reach prominence by us taking industrial trade positions to achieve excellence. And WB said, no, excellence is not in being industrial, or achievement will not be in the industrial, because we consistently become the commodities for the rich, or the slave masters, or slave owners. And Burghardt was saying that no, we achieve excellence by prominence by becoming doctors and lawyers, being into the fray of society to make that change. And the only way that they're going to accept us is our excellence. And that has been going on for centuries now in the black community. So there is a huge level of confusion, or I guess duality in the black community in achievement. But I think that one of the things that WEB, to a statement, what it produces is what we were talking about. It produces just such a level of mediocrity that just makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
And then we accept it and we pay for it as, okay, well, they're black, so we can expect mediocrity. No! You have to compete in the white world. It hasn't changed. My grandfather told my father, who told me that, you know what, you got to be 3 times better than him just to make half the amount of money. And it's still today. Yet we still have that theory has been proved over and over and over again. And we still have that same fight within ourselves.
But I also think, Vincent, it's a cultural thing, because I only see the level of disrespect in our black community and black Americans. I don't see this in other cultures. And it could be because I'm not embracing their cultures, or I'm not seeing, but I do not see it.
Well,
so there's something to say about that.
There is. And in the other cultures, when you get close to some of these other ethnic groups, you know, privately, they will voice their disconcern. Like I had one guy who was Jewish. He was talking about Ron Perlstein, buying jewelry from him, even though he just got out of being sued and, really, really public scrutiny of selling people what they thought were diamonds, but he was giving them rhinestones. And yet they were still pushing for him and his success. And behind the doors, they said, he did this, he did that. But you know what? I'm thinking that he's learned his lesson, and let's give him an opportunity. Do we as black people do that with our own?
Yeah.
When someone gives us a bad product or a bad service, we do one or two or a combination. We either, as Eric says, talk to them, have that uncomfortable conversation, and mentor them to success, or do we say, you'll never get my money again, and we tell everybody how much of a failure they are?
But I think that still also goes back to morals and how we're raised, and what we consider who can call us out. So there was a time when I was younger, if I got in trouble on a block, a neighbor had the ability to be able to chastise me as well as my parents. Now it seems like you can't say anything to anybody else's child. These children are being raised in a certain way that is not fruitful for the community or anybody else to deal with them. So what do you do? At what point do you say what excellence should be in your community, not just in your household, but in your community? What it should look like, and why do I have to move to a white neighborhood to get clean streets and people that care about their lawns and maintenance in the school system? Why does that have to be?
Yeah.
Well, it has to be, and you're right, it's a cultural thing where we have been lulled into such a false sense of reality, we look at the reality of the black neighborhoods, and that, the simple fact that I came from a neighborhood where, yes, my neighbors would grab me, grip me, as they say, take me to my mother and express to them the disconcerns that they have with my actions and act. And the worst thing about it is that my mother would tear my behind up on the spot and then send me in the house and say, and you wait until your father gets home.
So now the other thing is, when we talked about this briefly before we came on, Jaguar Wright, who is a musical artist, has not been in the limelight. Career did not jump off the way she thought it should. And she's been going back and forth to various different blogs talking about industry indiscretion. And she's been going into detail about many different artists and producers and the things that happen behind the scenes. One thing she did talk about was how Clive Davis had mentored Andre Harrell and Sean Puffy Combs in a manner that they have still carried out. And you wonder, what happens to these artists and why these artists are not still performing and their music is so great. Is because they decide the music and stuff that comes out into society and who is going to be, as you would say, the popular person or the not so popular person. And what they have done is they have basically stolen people's careers, whether it was with bad deals, and you can if you follow rap, there have been several different artists that talked about rappers that were getting bad contracts, like $10,000 contracts and stuff like that. And then they would be very talented, but they would literally kill their career. And their only motive, these producers, were to make money off of them, kill them, put them on a shelf, because you've heard them say that they shelf them, and keep moving. So I think when you talk about, because Cardi B is popular, she's popular because the industry makers have made her popular. Because basically they took her out of the strip club, they put her on a reality show, and now she's rapping, and the rap that she raps are not something that she wrote, so she has a ghostwriter, so she doesn't even write herself. So this is the industry that we're given, but people aren't pushing back on that. So then you have Megan Thee Stallion, another should have been stripper, could be stripper, I don't know, on Instagram, booty popping, live. Because you want to be a rapper. So you wonder why society looks at us, and not just looks at us black women, but looks at the black community and says, this is who we are and we're so low, because we don't push back and say it's unacceptable.
Well, we don't. We gobble it up. So...
We do, but part of it goes to what you said earlier, Diane. One of the things in terms of what happened to me in my day and what happens in today's standard. Now, in my day, I told my parents I would be gripped up and taken to my parents. Today, people do not believe and say, leave my child alone. Today, we can't go up to the Cardi B and go, look, Cardi, that ain't the way to make it, baby girl. No, what you get is cussed out.
Yeah.
We get pushback from when we say to them, when we express to them what the actual standard should be. Where is the level of excellence should come from? We get pushback. We get cussed out. We get called all kinds of things. Leave me alone. I'm doing me. You do you. That's the big reason why we have such confusion in it, is because the industry pushes these artists, and their success is based upon exploiting everything except for their ability to actually have talent. Why do you think we got so many superstars who can't sing or rap, yet they're selling millions of records? Because the industry is pushing these no-talent fools, and these great singers can't even get a record deal. In fact, Big Daddy Kane, in one of his raps, he was saying to this guy who got a record deal, I ain't gonna mention his name, but he was saying how bad his raps were, how bad his lyrics were. He didn't even write his own lyrics. So he said, tell me again, how'd you get a record deal? And it's true. And we don't even push back by saying, look, this guy is garbage, I'm not even buying it. No, we say he's popular, he's on mainstream, let me get that record.
Yeah. Let's take this call.
To express our concerns or our disappointment and take a firm stance and not worry about the pushback, the clap back, or whatever they want to call it back, or holler back, and basically say that, no, that this is the standard of that black society should be held to. And people start adhering to it, that's when we start to see the change.
Yeah.
When we say that, you know what, not only am I not liking you, but I'm going to organize against you.
There we go. That's what we got to do. It's not about being silent and saying, you know what, I'm just going to turn it off. We have to actively organize against it. Caller, go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just want to speak on this Cardi B.
Woman of the Year, Mike.
Award. Yeah. What's going on?
What's happening, brother?
Not much, man. Who gave her the award?
Billboard.
Oh, Billboard. And
Billboard.
Her industry that she's in, leapfrog her. I mean, the whole industry needs to be regulated to start. And basically what you guys are talking about today is dysfunctions of our community. And we showed a lot of the burdens of, the poor businesses and, just people handling, not getting back to you. When Diane does business, she sees herself. It's like looking in the mirror. I want to help you. And, let me fix my collar. Let me pull up my pen. And the other people, just when they look at Diane, they're not looking in the mirror. How much information that I can get from her to advance my business. It's not about a networking thing. And as far as Cardi B, she in that industry, she would be the woman of the year because it's totally bankrupt morally. So, somebody like that would climb to the top, and, she does do good. Don't get it twisted. She's very actively politically or whatever, and so what? All they need is a little grain of truth out of her to say, yeah, we can give her the woman of the year. Until we deal with that whole industry that is corrupting over these minds out here, you're going to keep getting Cardi B and a female named herself the Stallion. That's a stallion is a male horse. So, it's a whole level of backwards thinking that has people all messed up. So, but Vincent, don't give out no half-baked history. Eric, you're supposed to be a baker. How you let this guy sit up there and give out half-baked history? Well, please clarify it for me.
Oh, you talking about?
I don't have enough time. You can't. You don't have a just amount of time to get into that whole debate about Booker T and all of that. That time period needs to be, just a whole hour, 2 hours. You need to talk about that. That's a whole nother. That's our internal back and forth. We paralyze each other with this conversation of who's right, who's wrong, which way we should go, should we go left. All right, you got that one this week. We're going to work on you going, all right, you in the trade industry, I will support you this week. Oh, you want perfection out of people? Oh, next week I'm going to support you on that. But we get paralyzed by analyzing each other, and nothing gets done. So those guys wasted a lot of time back then analyzing each other, and somebody else is still profiting on both industries.
Sure.
So, that's a half-baked approach to that whole argument.
It is a portion of the actual history because, like you said, I don't have time to actually unfold the entire back and forthing with it. But the basis of it was the debate between the direction and how, and you're right, it did paralyze everybody. It had everybody standing still like a deer in a headlight because two of the most prominent figures were fighting rather than coming together and saying A, B, C, and D.
Yeah. This week I'm going to support you. Next week you're going to support me. You know, let's not get stuck in this moment because nobody wants to, you know, be a follower this week and the leader next week. You know, so
right, and then
that's a whole other discussion for another day.
Yeah.
And the big discontent.
One second, Mike, before you hang up, I have a question. What do you think about just the fact that Breonna Taylor's mom is presenting her with this award at the Billboard award show? Like, what is the symbolization that these white people are trying to do to? It feels like when you go back to slavery and they talk about the black woman and this is what she's supposed to look like and this is we idolize her because of this, but we also want to keep you people in your place at the same time and let you know that this is as good as you're going to get.
Yeah. Well, I think we don't know from Cardi B's perspective on how she could have helped Breonna Taylor's family because a lot of money was circulating back and forth. People were doing different stuff that don't necessarily get mentioned. But yeah, racism has an economic value. So now, I want you to give Cardi B the award, and yeah, we don't donate to your charity or your endeavors, and, you know, and sometimes we put ourselves in a position because somebody giving us donating to us or that thing. We have to always keep in mind, but to go along with racist efforts, there's always some money there. There's always some privilege there. There's always the level of power there, and all it takes is people to be like, okay, I'm gonna be prejudiced here. I know this is not right, but I'm gonna go along with this. So, and then the black woman, is keeping us arguing in our community. Black women with each other is taking your eyeball off of the white woman. I don't know if you guys watched the Red Table, but there's with Jada Pinkett, they're gonna have this woman on that got arrested for trying to get her kids into the college. And Jada is saying, no, we got to have her on to let her explain. And the Jada mother is like, hell no, we got to be sympathetic. Now they got them arguing with each other right there. But that's the game we constantly fall for. We got to be careful when we expose ourselves to that.
Well, they had the daughter on who was the recipient and exemplified white privilege. Right. And she got up there with the explanation, well, this is the world that I come from. I knew nothing about it. I had this, I did that, and, I'm so sorry. And Jada was like, I can't give you a pass because you exploited white privilege, and now that your mother's in jail, you're coming to us for sympathy.
Yeah, but before she came on, they was having that debate amongst themselves at the table. So that's the part I'm talking about. They shouldn't even give her the oxygen to breathe to our community. You know what I mean, about that. So we got so many dysfunctions that we are battling, and so we start understanding that the dysfunctions that we suffer under. It's not, we can't let it be a burden on our shoulders. The people that we can help, we help. But the people we can't help, they will be a burden on you and put pressure and bring you down to a certain degree. Yeah, so, yeah, you're right, Vincent. But, yeah, right.
Eric Dad said, those you won't let die. Finish it, Eric.
They won't let you live.
Won't let you breathe.
Yeah,
Won't
man.
let you live. Yeah. So, but and I have to agree with you. Let me ask you this: should we promote excellence, or should we just continue to let them make tons and tons of money in mediocrity, setting the standard for other blacks who can't get in?
That was for me?
Yes, that's for you.
I mean, well, you can. I think it's more of an issue that we have to stop looking for acceptance outside of our community. The financial burdens we suffer in our community is because we're trying to achieve to somebody else's level. And our community should just concentrate on our community, not trying to achieve to some mythological barriers levels that we, even if you got there, they push you back out, So it's a lot of the stuff we're trying to achieve to is mythological in a certain degree, because it's what they have over there. Their grass is no more greener than ours over here. And our money was spent just as well in our community, but we've always been divested from, and because we've always been divested from, we will take out and throw our money at other communities or choose to get into other communities.
Yes, we do.
We work on our environment here and stop being the seeds for other environments to grow.
Black Enterprise produced, they did the survey. They found that blacks spend an hour, money circulates in the black community. Your black dollar, 6 hours a month.
Well, the Enterprise didn't do that. That's the reality of all, been since the segregation.
Yeah.
That's the reality. At the end of the day, the bank take the money out of the community. Yeah. At the end of the day, the business on the corner take the money out of the community. At the end of the day, everybody taking their money out of the community. And when we need something repaired, the people come in from outside the community, fix what we need repaired, and leave back out. So we're not even, our money is not circulating. On top of that, we're not even building tradesmen and different things
within our own community.
Never mind the excellence,
that's absolutely right.
Trades are not even in our community.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Speaking of that, and Diane called this morning that she was trying to make her way to the hairdresser to get her due-date, and was complaining about all the road construction that's going on. I was complaining about it the other day, because it seems like everywhere you turn around, man, they got detour signs. I was in Belleville, they had them. I was in Union, in Hillside, in Irvington, everywhere they do it, and in Newark and in East Orange, and at all of these sites, you don't see any black people.
Say it again, or
you don't see. But Diane, but here is the thing again. We accept it, and like Vincent said earlier, see, it's not a matter of just talking about it. We have to organize against it. You see, so we have to figure out a way to be at those sites as a community, saying, whoa, what the hell is going on here? You see, but we don't. We just accept it. We ride by it, and you'll have some people who ride by and go, You see that? Ain't nobody. And then that's it. It just kind of falls. And then they accept it as being part of the status quo. Well, this is just what happens. And it continues to happen because it's just what happens until such time that you meet it with an equal force that says no more. right? You can't come into our community without ensuring that there's proper representation from people in our community.
And I'm not talking about you just having a black figurehead or a woman figurehead.
Right.
Because
We just need to.
contractor of government
Yeah.
in terms of minority business clauses are white.
But here's my other thing. Let's stop for a second. Full stop. All of the towns that I just mentioned, towns and cities, are run by black mayors.
Run by blacks.
They're all run by black mayors.
Mm-hmm.
All of those towns that I just mentioned have predominantly black councils.
Earlier argument that Billboard is giving Cardi B the award and the Woman of the Year award, but we don't know who the black engineer of the year is. We don't even know the woman engineer of the year is. We don't know these different fields because we're being distracted by an industry that is playing on the minds of the people.
Right.
Not even, see, if we have people more interested in engineers, we'd be looking over there with I don't see no black people in the construction site. I don't see but that's not what people minds are on, you know. If we did, our communities would be a lot better off. But
Mike,
we have to try to get these, you know, the minds of the people away from an industry that is corrupted people to ignore what the hell is going on around them.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, for one, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm listening.
So
Well,
for one, as an elected official or a former elected official, they should be having conversations about people when they do these bids, having that blatant conversation to say we want representation, and that can be put inside of the bid. And it doesn't have to be discriminatory. It's simply the same way that the government says that you have to give part of your bid, 50% of your bid has to go to a minority-owned business. That's how you do it. And when you specify minority-owned business, you specify whatever the race is within that minority-owned business that you want represented in your community. And just like Eric said, you specifically say, you want to do business in my town in Hillside or North or East Orange, then you have to have 50% of your employees that look like us if you want to do business with us in our town and get our money. Because 50% of our population, tax dollars, are going towards this bid. And that's not racist or discriminatory. That's being honest.
Well, but Diane, so Vincent asked how we do it. You hold people accountable. You hold them accountable. Well, but see, let's go back to why we elect people. We don't elect people for the right reasons, right? We don't elect them to protect our interests. We don't elect them to fight for us. We don't elect them for those reasons, and so they don't perform those tasks. If we elected them, if all of the folks who came out, let's say, and elected Ted Green understood what we're talking about and said, you know what, along with the schools and the taxes and the crime and the whatever, we are at a deficit when it comes to economic security within the black community. And when we drive through our neighborhoods and we see contractors and we see these government, we see, this infrastructure being repaired, we don't see proper representation. Mayor, we want to know why, right? And see, because Diane, I haven't seen on any of their literature when they run, I mean, I think it's all BS anyway, but I haven't seen on any of their literature when they run for office that's something that they even pretend to want to address. No. They don't even pretend to want to address it.
The engine that moves them, that machine, doesn't want that. So the machine is who puts the literature together and tells you what the talking points are going to be. And the talking points are never going to be specific to any particular race because they don't want uprising or any particular race in any town.
They don't want an uprising. Then, if we start to demand what they should be doing, then they should be adhering to it.
Yeah, but it's excuse me, since I need to
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The key words on a lot of these flyers are they're going to create jobs. And the key word is, we're going to, our tax dollars are going to be used to pump up our, something to that level that they're going to use for this improvement or that improvement. But the people think they're going to create, the mayor's going to create a job, and I might be able to get me a job, blah, blah, blah. They don't know that a lot of the time they create the job for their nephew, their son,
Right.
somebody in the family.
Go. The devil is in the, there you go. See, the devil is in the details.
We gotta do that key word, you're going to create a job. Be specific. Don't just throw out a broad statement that you're going to create a job. What kind of plans do you have? What kind of, so a lot of these jokers will come around and promise you the world, but they ain't saying nothing. So,
there you go. Because it's not that you're creating a job. It's you're creating a job for who? Because I got a nephew that could use a job.
But let me tell you, the master of words came out of Newark when Mayor Raz Baraka said, when I become mayor, you become mayor. And that meant when people heard that, they said, me as a black person, me as a Spanish person, me as a whatever, I too am going to have a say in this. That was the most creative word ever.
Or maximum sophisticated confusion, better known on this show as bullshit.
Well, that and to be clear,
see, a lot of us come up in this society where they play with these words, like Diane says, is they give you the impression that it's one thing, and all the while it's the total opposite. So if you're not at this point having like, all right, the man said he's gonna do X, Y, and Z. Who's calling them up on that? And if they're getting any ground movement on what they're calling them up on, if it makes any sense.
I think people scared to hold those politicians accountable. I think they're scared to say, no, who is the contractor and how many black people do they have working for them? Or hold up, how many black people are getting the actual contract and not subcontract?
Vincent, you're correct. Many people are scared. When I sat on council, people would come to me and tell me all type of egregious things that were going on. And I say, come to the council meeting. You have to speak up. You have to put it on record. Oh, no, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. Some even told me, older black people even told me, I don't want retaliation from the mayor. So they wouldn't do it.
There we go.
You want to get somebody away from you really fast, and they're complaining to you, just ask them, what do you want to do about it? And you will hear the silence, like, what? Yeah, you complaining. What do you want to do about it? You got to take an action to get it to stop if it's bothering you. But as soon as you ask them that question, what are you going to do? What do you want to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Silence. Quiet. You won't hear another word out of it. The conversation going to come to an end. Because they ain't prepared to do nothing about it. Half the time.
That's right. So the next subject that I was telling Eric and Vincent about earlier was vaccinations. Would it be okay for the government to stop your benefits if you refuse to have vaccinations? So say, for instance, a young mom, single mom, gets food stamps, and she refuses to vaccinate either herself or her child, and now she loses her food stamp benefits.
Cut them off!
I mean, right now we're...
Cut them off!
Right now we're under emergency use. Well, in America, we haven't even got to emergency use authorization yet. And we have to be careful with these words they're using. Again, emergency use authorization, nobody can mandate me to, you can't tell me to do anything, and until this thing is approved, they got it approved and go out there there where the white folks don't even want to wear a mask and get them to take it first and then come back and talk to me.
No. So, but no. So,
they ain't trying to hear it.
well, that's not true, Mike. But that's not true. But that's not true. White folks in suburbs are eager to take this vaccine. The statistics are bearing that out. They're not running away from this.
Yeah, but the suburbs is different than out there in the middle of nowhere.
Oh well, yeah, you got some rogue.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
The black and Hispanic community are not going to take this vaccine.
Hold on. Yeah, we are in close proximity to each other. But the people that live out in silos out in the middle of nowhere, you get them to take it first. And then come see me. Because we under this, there's going to be an emergency use authorization. Okay, you can take it. I'm not stopping you. If you're going to take it.
But see, let us.
Let me clarify that because people take what I'm saying like I'm against vaccine. I've taken vaccine. But I want to know this thing works first.
But Mike, but let us not make this a race thing, right? Because there are more white people on welfare. Wait a minute. Well, wait a minute. But there are more. But wait a minute. No. But I'm saying that there are more. Wait. What? Okay. There are more white. There are more white people collecting benefits than black people. So this isn't so right. So they're not saying. See, I want to be clear because on the thread that you posted this on, Diane, people are quick to based on stereotypes that are out there think that they're just trying to get black people to take the vaccine, so they're gonna cut off their benefits. This is gonna affect white people. This is gonna affect all those white people that you're talking about in those rural areas, Mike. You understand what I'm saying? So they're looking, saying, and my position is this, and Carla, I know you're on, so give me a second. My position is this. The government already has stipulations set for people who are collecting benefits. They already do. People have to adhere to certain stipulations now. You're not just free to collect benefits. You got to check certain boxes. They're just talking about adding another box that you may have to check. Now, if you don't want to check the box,
but Eric, let me add this point that I'm gonna get on. Bill Clinton, when he did welfare reform, he didn't concentrate in areas where the most of the people who are on welfare are. But when they did welfare reform, they concentrated on race.
No, I understand that, but this is something different, Mike. This is simply saying.
I bring this point up to say that when Diane put that up and then black people start chiming in,
Right. No, I understand. It was a knee-jerk reaction.
The point you're trying to make is valid. I completely understand.
Yeah.
But the people that were forced to take it, as opposed to the people who are getting the most out of the deal, is two different things.
But to Eric's point, the government already puts mandates on people for them to be involved in government services or products. There is a mandate that says that your children have to be vaccinated to go into school. There is a mandate that says that government employees have to have A, B, C, and D.
Yes.
This is just another box that they're checking.
Just another box you got to check. Call or go.
But all right. But are they going to enforce this the way that is going to go across the board?
Well, wait a minute. So now stop for a second. Mike, wait a minute. But Mike.
But Mike.
But wait a minute. But Mike. So.
Because if you don't check it, you don't get no
All right.
money.
But Vincent, wait. But Mike.
Diane,
wait a minute.
Going at that conversation about the mandates, about people's decisions and all that. First of all, the problem is that we're supposed to mandate our elected officials.
Exactly. Okay? There we go.
None of this nonsense with you're mandated to have a child to go to school in school, like there was an article in the Star, lawmakers consider mandating vaccine for children in school. Are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me?
No. So wait a minute. Will,
half of these politicians are we supposed to mandate them?
Will,
Governor Murphy,
Will, can you hear me? I'm gonna pause you, Will.
Come on, man.
Wait.
How much money are we making
Okay,
off the
I don't know that.
vaccine,
It will.
vaccine in your pockets?
Will. Can you hear me? Will.
How you
Okay.
doing?
So here's the deal. So here's the deal to answer Mike's question. When you say, are they gonna be fair across the board with this, right? Well, we as black people, every 4 years, right, we get to vote for a president, and we get to vote for senators and governors, and or 6 years for senators, right? 2 years for House representatives, right? We get to do that, and we get to do it to make sure that we have people in those positions who have our best interests at heart. So when issues like this come up, right, we don't have to hope and wish and pray that that is going to happen. We have people in there who are safeguarding our health and well-being. Now, what I'm saying is this: in this last election, people didn't do that. They voted to stop Trump. So now,
Oh, no. Here we go.
let me finish. Vincent, let me finish. So they voted to stop Trump. And so now, as this issue comes up, they didn't ask. They didn't ask these people, hey, we elect you. You're going to have our heart. You're going to have our interests at heart. You're going to go to bat for us. You're going to stand up for us. You're going to fight against pharma. You're going to fight against it. They didn't do that. And so now we're hoping and praying that when this thing...
So the problem is in this country, okay, with this coronavirus thing, okay, everybody's making money off the antibodies, the testing of the swab and all like that. I guarantee you, with these companies that are producing these vaccines, somebody has their hand in their pockets.
Well, of
I mean,
course.
how could you mandate a child? How could you mandate a child to go to school, which they never took a vaccine before? They might have taken one, the regular flu shot and all that. So there's a friend of mine told me yesterday, some of New Jersey firefighters are not taking this vaccine because the New York too is vaccine.
Well, good. Then there'll be some firefighters and everywhere who won't get a check. But to answer your question,
Exactly.
Hold on, Will. Hold on, Will. Hold on. Now, to answer two of your points, okay? First and foremost, the only people who everybody got money for this vaccine in terms of Operation Warp Speed, except for Pfizer. So the second thing is this, all right? These people right now, and in fact, even the governor of Pennsylvania has announced yesterday that he got COVID. Okay? So here's the thing. They got it. Now, whether it proves safe, we're going to find out by sometime this afternoon because they're voting on it right now. The second thing is this, that if it is required of them, that is what they have to do. But to go into the point where Eric was going on, when people voted against Trump or voted for Biden, when you say that people voted against Trump, they voted against the mishandling of this pandemic. They voted against the racial inequality where the government did nothing. They voted against the shooting and no justice for innocent people. That's what people were voting for when they voted against Trump. Nobody just going to vote against Trump just because he's Trump. They voted against Trump for what he did.
Okay, so Vincent, with that, let me just let you know this. So the Governor Cuomo of New York stated, and it was posted in the newspaper the other day, that he is going to make it mandatory that vaccinations, COVID vaccinations, are given to children kindergarten and preschool in order for them to return back to school. And then he was going to phase in the lower kids, the lower school back as well, and high school. Now, on the federal level, Federica Wilson, who is out of Louisiana, Texas. I can't remember. She's the black woman that wears cowboy hat all the time.
I think she's in Florida. That's Florida.
Florida, yes, Florida. Very nice looking woman. So she put through a bill back in July to mandate COVID vaccinations on the federal level. So if instead of, like Cuomo saying he'll do it on the state level and then maybe this state will do something that state, no, she wants it on the federal level to make it a mandate that everybody is vaccinated.
So let's make a mandate that Governor Murphy and all these elected officials in New Jersey pull their TV cameras and do that on national TV, and how effective that is. All these mandates are ridiculous. I understand.
Yeah.
Let me just say this to you, man, about voting against Trump. Trump talked about herd mentality.
Which was supposed to be herd immunity.
Hold on. No. He knew what the hell he was talking about. And what Will is talking about, putting these governors and different President Obama on camera and having them vaccinated is dangerous, and it's a herd mentality. When these guys come on TV as presidents and influencing people to go along to take a vaccine is a herd mentality. So I'm not an anti-vaccine. Again, let me clarify this, because people will take what you say and then try to put you in a box. We have to be careful of these people hurting us. You've been saying that you vote to get Trump and Trump is wrong and I despise him just like everybody else. But what he said was that, this herd mentality that we need the people to have is the Democrats. Now, the Democrats is trying to pass a bill right now. If you go to work and you contract COVID, you can't sue your employer. So at one point, on one side, they're saying, we're going to mandate you to take a vaccine that ain't even nowhere near being proven or approved. And now you got these people saying that they're going to get on TV and take a vaccine because they want to influence people to take the vaccine. Let's approve a vaccine that worked first.
That's what everybody's saying.
We were concentrating on Trump, and he's the demonic from the worst places in hell. But at the same time, let's not get it twisted that these people will put something in your body that'll mess you up, and then 2 or 3 years, 5 years from now, it'll be a oops. It'll be a oops. Let's get this straight first.
Well, let's get it straight. First of all, Mike. Go ahead. Mike, basically, the Democrats, okay, we're not running the White House for 4 years. Republicans.
No, I'm talking about now. They're trying to pass a bill.
Yeah. But Michael, you got to understand this, okay? Trump knew about this coronavirus stuff way before January, and he thought it was a hoax. Now that this guy is out of office and completing his final term, which I hope in God he will, because we had a mandate. The mandate was.
You said that I had to understand something that Trump knew this back then, but there are committees in Congress that knew as well. Democrats and Republicans. This is not. Hold on. Nobody was ringing the bell. When I first heard, and I'm glad Facebook is around to document this, that there was a virus that could go around the world. I was on Facebook telling people there's a virus getting ready to go around the world. I didn't hear not one politician that on these committees that saying what the hell was going on. You barely had a whisper out of the news media. And now that's all you hear from the news media. So I understand you want me to understand certain things, but make sure that I'm not speaking from a position that I'm right or wrong. I'm going on what is. You about to get herded into a vaccine. Hopefully, let's just know that the vaccine is going to do what it's going to do. Right now, we're operating under an emergency use authorization. That
By
has
the way,
nothing to do with what's being approved.
by the way, Mike, the bill that you're talking about was sponsored by Kim Schreiner, a Republican. But you're saying that the Democrats. Mike, let me finish,
I heard
please.
4 Democrats yesterday. Yeah,
Mike, let me finish, please. Now, the second thing that we have to look at, in terms of what Will was saying, we did on this show back in February talking about the disease that was coming, and we said and confirmed that no, it is already here. And Trump sat up here and said that, yeah, and he told the guy back in March, yeah, I played it down. I know it's worse than the flu. I know it's going to kill a lot of people. I know it's going to kill a lot of black people. It affects people with conditions. Yeah, I played it down.
How did we get on? Wait, how did we get on Trump?
I'm glad you brought that up, Vincent, because now that Biden's administration is coming in, and he's going to ask for a mask mandate, okay? Okay, with reference to the mask mandate, okay, I do wear a mask when I do go outside, so I'm not reckless. Okay, we do have reckless people out in this society, and, you know, what draws the attention, you know, if President-elect Biden or President Biden, when he does come into office on January 20th, issues a mandate mask, you know, you do what you got to do to keep alive. Instead of being on a ventilator and not going out being reckless. It's called reckless endangerment. And that is an emergency right now that our president that's coming into the White House is asking governors throughout the entire state to ask for a mask mandate. Is that good? I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad.
But it may be that mask mandate may be too little too late. We've got more cases of coronavirus right now, to the point of people are contracting it every 32 seconds. And we've got more cases right now where people are out and not wearing a mask than what we had when they shut down certain states.
Right. And another thing is, Biden is already. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to say, like, shutdowns, or have they had any signs at reference to shutting down?
Well, but wait a minute. Before we get, before we get to that though, guys. But before we get to guys, hello.
The environment was, the water was getting clearer, the sky, the pollutants in the air was getting better, but
okay.
Biden has already said staying home is off the table. He ain't even going to talk about that. Right. So when you say the Republicans are pushing a certain bill, you have Democrats taking the same position as the Republicans.
So but the question,
Biden is a centrist.
the question that was at, all right, I'm gonna pause you.
And he's not even in office. That stay at home is off the table. So scientifically, everything was improving. Just the environment as a whole was improving.
Right.
For those couple of weeks or month or whatever it was that the people did stay off the street.
All right. So I don't know if I'm on a time delay, guys. All right. Hello. Yo. So I don't know if I'm on a time delay. If you guys can hear me when I try to interrupt it. But the question that was asked by Diane, and I don't know that it was answered fully, was, and we moved on to Donald Trump, and so the question is regarding people taking this vaccine, whether the government should intervene, add another checkbox. So when we look at smallpox, right, and we look at how the government handled it, well, they did that all wrong, right? You didn't have the regulations in place. They were conducting police raids on houses, and they were handcuffing people and doing. So we're not doing that, right? Although you do have anti-vaxxers who are posting posters of what occurred 100 years ago. But that's not the world that we live in right now. So there are there are regulations, and look, I'll also tell you this: I know people who work in these industries who work for regulatory compliance and all this other stuff, and they work back and forth with the FDA. I know folks at Merck. I know folks at other companies. So there are safeguards in place, and you have whistleblowers. You have all of that. So it's not just a wild, wild west that people want to say that it is, right? It's just not rogue like that. And having said all of that, in the space that we're in now, why wouldn't we welcome the government to safeguard sensible people against folks who, against jackasses? So what you're saying is that you literally have a very contagious disease, and you've got people saying, I don't want to wear masks. You got people saying, I want to have super spreader events. I want to go do this, that, and the other. I want to keep going. And what we do know is that the infrastructure within the hospitals is now in jeopardy of being overrun, right? With COVID cases, which will create a whole lot of other issues that I talked about a couple days ago. So now the government, or folks within the government, are looking at all of that, right? They're looking at the bigger picture, not the individual picture. And what I said to Diane the other day is, when do we start to ascribe to the theory that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one? When do we get to that?
So when do we get to that? I mean, the bottom line is, Eric, I'm glad Diane posed that question on social media. I mean, taking away people's benefits, that's reckless. I mean, why would you take people's benefits away because they don't want to wear a mask?
No, you're taking no, you're taking, wait a minute, Will, let me finish. Will, what you're saying doesn't make, Will, but I'm not going to let you misrepresent it. See, let's say it like it is, right? You're taking away their benefits because they're risking lives. They're putting lives at risk. So the government is saying, listen, we're not going to allow you, right, to get a check. I'm not going to write you a check, right? And I'm not going to do all those things. And then you're going to thumb your nose up, not just at the government or at science and what the science is saying about this, but you're also going to put, in some cases, so let's go here, Will. I'm a taxpayer. You're now the recipient of benefits based on the taxes I pay. And then you have the goddamn nerve to put my life at risk. Are you serious?
I totally agree with that. I'm all for it, you know what I mean? But we just want to encourage people. See, when I see people out on the street, Eric, I encourage them to wear. And we also want to provide people services as far as food pantries, as far as medical insurance, to keep people alive. I'm not saying that just to cut off benefits, just to hurt them. I mean, okay, fine. We just want to encourage people to wear, first of all, wear a mask, wash your hands, do whatever that we've been doing for the past months. That said this vicious virus has came throughout the entire world. What I'm saying is, though, we want to encourage people to wear masks, get as COVID tests, as many as I need. I've taken 3 COVID tests, and they all came out negative. Thank God. You know what I mean? We just got to hope and pray that the vaccines will help people, but there shouldn't be a mandate for children. Okay.
So wait a minute, Will. So Will. So you're saying, Will. So you're saying this, that so my kid. So let's say you've got a 4th grader and I got a fourth grader, right? And,
In
and
the germ factory, of course.
there we go. And so now you want to say when they open the schools back up that if you become a person who says I don't want my kid to be vaccinated. So now your kid walks into a classroom with 20 other kids that got vaccinated. Your kid, because you say, hey, I shouldn't be mandated. It should be mandated. So you're saying that your child now can be a possible spreader of what?
The word mandated is kind of structured, like force. I mean, we need to educate our kids first. No, I think the word mandate comes from the word side effects are and everything. I think that legislatively they're gonna, things are gonna be done. People are gonna have to. If you're out in the public and you have to go to school, you got your employer. This, that, I agree with Mike. But it's gonna be legislated that you're gonna have to take going on. I purposely, when you stop talking, I started. Okay. But legislatively, things are gonna be done. My concern is, I don't know if you got benefits, they can take your benefits away. They've legislated a lot of things, and that's the way it is. But I'm more concerned with what they're doing now, because there was so much misinformation. This thing was handled wrong from the beginning. We all have the same consensus that this thing was handled wrong from the very beginning. And I totally agree with you. Misinformation came out. And this thing was overseen, the FDA, the CDC, by a corrupt administration, and this thing was rushed through in a way that now that it's here, after one day already, people over there, UK, if you got conditions or you're susceptible to this, you don't need to take it. You have side effects.
Oh, I don't know what happened to everybody. Please call back. Oh, there we go. I'm not sure what happened. Diane?
Yeah, everything just dropped.
Everything just dropped, guys. I don't know what happened. Hold on. We got Vincent coming back. Mike, please call back and finish what you were saying. And here we go. This is Mike.
Yeah, Eric, to confirm your scenario.
One second, Vincent.
Okay, this is Will. We're waiting for Mike to come back. So at the point that Mike dials back in, we're gonna just break and let him continue his thought.
Finish.
All right. So here's my point. My thing is, if we allow government to push this forward and make it a mandate, a requirement for people to be vaccinated for COVID-19 and take away their benefits if they do not get vaccinated, where will it end? Should we have our body as a protected class? Because at some point, when will they say, okay, well, they'll do like China and say, well, we're having too many babies and you're only allowed to have one child, or we'll mandate at certain ages, or that you get sterilized in prison, because they try to do that as well for rapists and stuff like that. When will it end? When does your body not belong to yourself and become a part of the body?
Right. So I think the differences in all of those things are at the point that you become a menace to society. Right. Right. Your actions become a menace to society, become a threat to society. Then I believe that government should step in and begin to regulate behavior, because people.
It's interesting that you say that when it becomes a menace to society, because white cops killing black people is a menace to society. The government hasn't stepped in to do anything about that. So now.
Well, okay. So, well.
Do something on this side.
That's the rabbit hole, brother. Sidestep it.
No, but but
Sidestep the rabbit
no,
hole.
no.
Don't fall down the rabbit hole.
But I'm not going to sidestep it because so let's have the conversation, right? But I think that I think it gets us off the point that we're having here. But the reason government has not regulated what the police are doing to black folks yet is because black folks have no power, right? And we got to go back to understanding how they see us, right? They see us as a commodity to their wealth and to their power. And so they use the police to enforce that, right? And to continue to drill into us that we are marginalized, that we are expendable, that we are less than. That's what the police force is there to do. And so until such time that we rise up and we want different and we want better and we elect politicians who are going to push an agenda that changes this, then nothing is going to change on that front. Right? So that is it. So now, but on the other side, where that same mindset is saying, well, how do we protect our interests, our overall interests? It is to make sure that you have a community of healthy people. Because if everybody's dying, then nobody can be the commodity to their wealth and to their power. That includes white people. And that's why I was saying, so these white people who are collecting benefits, well, they threaten folks too. They threaten the ecosystem. And so you got to make sure that those folks are in line as well as black folks. And so by mandating going into public schools and other public places, or if you're receiving public benefits, right? The government says, hey, all of you are attached to us, so we are gonna mandate that you do this. And that's how we protect the many.
A couple of issues in dealing with that. And Eric's right. The needs of the many outweigh the need of the one. And we have to, and it's sad that we're having this debate that they have to mandate something that should, for a lot of people be automatic. And yes, we know, and we've been down that rabbit hole of blacks not trusting medicine. Yes, we know that, and we understand that. Yes, we know, and we've had the conversation that people have the right of pursuit of happiness. But we also know that your pursuit of happiness should not stand in my pursuit of happiness. And one of the biggest things that can help my pursuit of happiness is that your virus, I do not contract it and die.
That's absolutely right.
So why do we have to consistently go attack this rabbit hole? Because now they are, once again, putting a mandate, legislation, and law to prevent stupid. If we had people who weren't stupid going around talking about it was fake and that there was no disease, you don't need to wear a mask, we wouldn't have so many deaths. But we are now in a society where we have to legislate stupid.
Yep, I totally agree with that because Donald Trump was the guy in charge, and he knew what this effect with the virus and telling people, not to wear masks and be, it's the folks and all that kind of stuff. And he even contracted the coronavirus.
Forget Donald Trump. Forget Donald Trump. We got a black idiot on Facebook with a video talking about you don't have to wear a mask.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Right. So moving on to the next subject. I'm not sure. I think I sent it to you, Eric. But I'm sorry if I sound muffled to people because I have my mask on and my hair done.
We want to see photos.
Yeah, we will get them. The first thing is there was a drug company that had to do a recall because they mixed up the depression medication with erectile dysfunction drug together.
Wait, say that again?
Nothing like an erection that can cure your depression.
How dare they recall that?
That's what I'm talking about. Let's line up. I'm joking. For all those people who are calling me sexist, okay? I am joking.
No, it was a good one. I'll let it go. So President Omar, who was part of the squad, talked about she gave a to-do list to Biden about things that she wanted the other progressive lawmakers that got together and said that they want Biden to cancel student loan debt, raise the minimum wage to $15 for federal contractors, and declare the climate change a national emergency. And then there were some other things that she also gave over to his staff, stating that this is the demands that the progressive leaders were looking for.
Well, she about to get her feelings hurt. That's my opinion, but I mean, yeah. And I agree with everything except for demand that the climate change become a national emergency. One thing that we have noticed that with all the governments and countries being shut down, that the climate has improved a great deal. But getting back into the Paris Accord is a huge step. The next thing is working on improving it. Now, that's a big hole that we're going to have to wrestle with when we're talking about somewhere close to $5 trillion that they may have to kick out to states in terms of aid, just dealing with this coronavirus. We got states right now and cities right now on the verge of laying off policemen and firemen and municipal employees because they don't have the funding. So it becoming an emergency may not happen. It being on the back burner until we get America together, that may happen.
Yeah.
That's all you got, yeah?
That's all I got to say. Yeah.
I gotta tell people the pre-show conversation had me laughing for 30 minutes. My stomach was hurting, tears coming down my eyes.
Well, listen.
Here's a good one to close out the last few minutes. What's your favorite Christmas memory? Since we're, approaching.
Wait, before we get into that, can I ask this question? Can I tell you how sick we are? Let me tell you how sick we are.
Sick as in mental or physical?
No, sick as in mental.
Yes.
Why do I drive past homes where black people live and they got an inflated white Santa Claus on their front lawn? I mean, I got it. I just want to get out of my car and take a pin and pop it. And knock it over. Right. Just like if you look, it may come to that. You may I may
road rage. Now you're on white Santa rage.
I mean, seriously? Come on, guys. Come on. Because what I'll say to you is this, right? What is...
Eric.
No, but you understand, this isn't a... and there are people who are shallow, who Eric, you're too radical, you're a bigot, you're racist. No. We all understand, adults understand that Santa's not real. Adults understand that, right? So the person who owns the house or who's renting the house, Santa is not real. You know that you're the person who's going and buying these presents. Or your friends and family are buying presents for your kids or whatever, right? You know that. So that's no secret. And so why would you want to continue this illusion that the white guy on your lawn is doing the hard work that you're doing?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
Because it's just going to take more than 2 minutes to actually digest and dissect. However, in terms of Santa being real, the patron Saint Nicholas is very real, especially to Russia. However, what he has turned out to be, in terms of American society, is the poster child of capitalism at its best. Yet people go and want to give their children this delusion that some benevolent fat white man is coming into the black neighborhoods and give these children everything that their little hearts desire. Yet, on the surface, on the back end of that, parents are going into huge debts, fighting and scrubbing, people staying out 3 days, camping in front of stores for the latest PlayStation to make this lie real. And yeah, I'm with you on that, Eric.
I mean, I'm telling you, I do. It's like, yeah. Remember what was the when I was a kid? I got it once for Christmas. It was a clown that you inflate and you punch him and he kind of like goes down and comes back up, almost like the Weeble Wobble. Remember the Weebles, right? But it was the clown. Remember you had the clown that you. That's what I want to go do on these lawns. I was just gonna punch him.
Eric, you must keep your therapist on speed dial.
I just like you may see me in my full ADOS regalia, just going out there pummeling a white Santa Claus, just beating the shit. I may buy one just to pummel him in front of my own house.
You about to be a YouTube sensation. 5 million views. This black man beat a white inflatable Santa. I can't take it. I can't. All right, Eric. When you do it, could you get Nina to take a photo of it and send it to me?
I will. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so your question was, what was your question, Diane? Best Christmas gift?
What was your best memory from Christmas? If you could redo one of your best memories.
Oh my best memory. My mother, when we were in California, she was mom and dad, right? Because my dad was 3,000 miles away. My mom worked 2.5 jobs. She had all 4 of us out there with her. And she worked 2.5 jobs. But on Christmas, we didn't have a green tree. We didn't have a real tree. We had like a fake tree, and it was white. And it had blue lights on it, and I loved it. And my favorite gift as a kid was when I got my first Hot Wheels. I mean, not Hot Wheels, my Big Wheel. Do you remember the Big Wheel? I got a Big Wheel.
It was red and yellow, wasn't it?
Yo, Diane. And that thing, you could, everybody had Big Wheels. And, the first year that came, I was too little. I cried and cried and cried. The second year, I got my Big Wheel, and that was it. And I still remember, and no, I wouldn't let anybody ride it. And then when you got too big to ride it the way that you were supposed to ride it, because your knees were hitting the handle, the thing that you hold.
The handlebars.
Right. Then you would have to, go to the back of it, right? Put one foot on it, and like a scooter. And so I did that, and then you kind of outgrow it and you wreck it and that kind of stuff. But that was my favorite gift as a kid. All-time favorite gift. And then Rock'em Sock'em Robots was another one later on. Right? I had the rock. I mean, I as a kid, those were the 2 most memorable gifts that I got. I got other stuff, but like my dad would buy me when I got older an erector set. I got a chemistry set. Puzzles, books. So I harken back to my Rock'em Sock'em Robot and my Big Wheel. What about you, Vincent?
Well, let's see. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so we didn't believe in Christmas at all.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but
When
we.
you left the religion, what was the first thing you did? Did you celebrate Christmas when you left the religion?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I had my first Christmas with my daughter when she was 2. And I mean, I'm coming from a very jaded aspect of it, but growing up, we had family who weren't Jehovah's Witnesses, and occasionally, every other year or so, my mother would take us over to their house for Christmas dinner, and got to play with my cousin's toys, and saw their big wheels and all that other great stuff, the rock'em sock'ems, the electric football games,
Oh, yeah.
vibrated and the pieces moved, and,
Yeah.
all of that great stuff, and I mean that to me is what my memory. Of course, my wife, that was my first wife, had a huge love of diamonds. So, of course, buying her jewelry, I mean, it made Christmas for everybody. But for me, it was just, okay, this is another day.
And you, Diane?
Any particular Christmas with my parents was always a good Christmas. So because I was the only girl, I got what I wanted. I didn't have to share my toys. I was very protective of my toys. Even when my friends came over, I'd be like, look, I don't know if it's good enough to play with my toys yet. But I think the best time was just, Christmas Day, being able to, when I got old enough to bring my toys outside for everybody to see what you got, the Christmas outfit, all that. Playing outside, playing football in the street with the guys and kickball and stuff like that.
Hey, Diane, did you ever have a toy, like on Christmas Day, that you got, that you took outside, let somebody else play with, and they broke it?
So I had a girlfriend named Pooh. Her real name was Candy. And I had the baby doll, and I can't think of what her name is. And I still have the baby doll to this day.
Thumbelina?
Chrissy was her name. And she would pull her ponytail out with a string in the back to make her ponytail long or short. And Candy, Pooh, messed up my baby doll and got it so tangled that it wouldn't work anymore. And I literally kicked her out the house and made her go home. She went home crying. And my mother was like, well, what happened? I was like, she tangled my doll, baby. It can never be repaired. And to this day, I will send you a picture. I still have it, and the hair is still tangled.
Oh, God. Well, that ended that friendship. So, but yeah, Christmas does teach, as a child, Christmas does teach you how to protect what's yours.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it ain't the time for giving for kids. It's the time for getting.
Oh, but I do remember one Christmas where my aunt, I was a big cowboy fan. I wanted to be the Lone Ranger. And, of course, not only being a Jehovah's Witness made it difficult for Christmas, but also my parents did not like guns, the playing of guns, toy guns, or anything like that in the house. So, I wanted the Lone Ranger thing with the cowboy hat and the cap guns, you just go ahead and practice your draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 days after Christmas, my aunt sent it, so it was acceptable for me to accept that present. And I mean, I was pretty happy going around playing Lone Ranger with all my friends, my cowboy hat and my cowboy boots and my cap gun until I ran out of caps.
Yeah.
Now my grandfather bought my brother, and my brother is 8 years older than me. Bought my brother a BB gun for Christmas. My mother was so mad. He was outside shooting everybody and everything.
Like Ralphie. You'll shoot your eye out.
I was going to say the same thing. Your brother was Ralphie.
He was so angry, and I remember my grandfather bought me one of those skates for Christmas, and he bought me, we used to go to Twin City all the time to skate. He bought me roller skates, but he didn't buy me the indoor skates, with the coated wheels, the big plastic wheels. He bought me the metal wheels. They were black for boys, and I could only skate them outside. I was so upset. Like, why did he buy me these? These are for boys.
Wait a minute, do you remember, Diane, did you have actual roller skates, or did you have I had the ones that they were metal, and you kept your shoes on, and you put them in. I'm sorry?
Yeah, no.
The metal one with the key, you put your shoes over top of it?
You put your shoes on top of it, and then you adjust it to fit your foot?
To your size. Your foot size.
Yep.
No, I didn't have those. I had the black ones with the metal heel, the metal wheel. And you could only roll skates outside. So they were outdoor skates.
Oh. I had those. I had the adjustable skates. Those were horrible. Man, I mean, you weren't I mean, you were spending more time trying to skate than you were actually skating. You just yeah, more effort in propelling yourself forward than the wheels weren't rolling, man. If you were on a hill and you just stood there, you wouldn't move. Those things didn't work. Those things
What I
did
used
not.
to do,
And
I
they made
had
a lot of
neighbors who
noise
couldn't
too.
fit those boot skates. They were like shoes with skates on them, and they would throw them in the trash. I used to take them and put them on a board and turn them into scooters and skateboards.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, good day. Good,
So
good time.
so my kids asked me what I wanted for Christmas. And I told them it's the same thing every year.
A hammock.
No.
A wallet.
I get a wallet. So wait a minute, do I have my I get the same one too every year cuz by the time the year comes it's worn out. So wait a minute, I'm gonna pull it out so you can see it. So let's see if you can it'll show up and you'll be able to see it. But it's all worn out now. And it's a year old, but it's time for a new one. So I just take a picture and I send it to Olivia and she orders it and I get another one. And then for Lucy and the other kids, I just say, get me socks. Chip in, get me my black gold toe socks. That's it. But if you look at my wallet is just destroyed at this point. So I'll get a new wallet and I'll transfer all my stuff to the new one. I'll get my new black gold toe socks so that I don't get confused in the morning when I'm pulling socks out of a drawer. And all is right with the world.
Now, does the gold ever fade off those socks?
Off of the no. Nope.
Why are they gold?
Why do I like the gold?
The gold too?
Why are they gold? Are they reinforced socks?
Well, yeah, it's a stitching that's reinforced, but then it's their signature, and then I guess, the
Signature gold toe stitching.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I like 'em.
And they are good socks.
They are very good socks.
So do they come in other colors besides the black?
Diane, I want black. I want black.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Gold toe are what Bombas actually copied after. Reinforced toe, heel, comfortable fitting. They don't fall down or hit your ankles.
That's absolutely right.
They don't scoot to the front of your shoe. They are really good socks to have.
So that's all I want for Christmas. And good health. But,
Oh, but my wife always buys me superhero socks. I got Batman, Flash, Green Lantern.
Yeah, but now do you keep them? Do you keep the pairs, or have you lost one of the socks, and so now you got one Green Lantern?
No, we were pretty good with that. See, when she does the laundry, because my wife does like bulk laundry, so I know that I'll just put it to the side, my one sock drawer, and wait until the match comes up, and then fold it up, put it in a drawer.
Oh.
Well, that's very smart of you. Because I usually move my socks and then stuff them in a drawer, then dump everything out and start finding back.
See all that trouble you all go through? I don't have to.
No?
Nope. I just reach in the drawer, grab two socks. And they always match.
Okay, so what's the worst present you ever got?
I've never got a bad present.
Yeah, I've never gotten a bad
I've always
present.
been appreciative of whatever I got.
Yeah, I've never gotten a bad present.
Okay. I had to say the same thing.
Yeah. I'm grateful if somebody thinks enough about me to get me a gift. Now, I'll tell you this. I've been frustrated because, like sometimes people decide to get me some socks and they think that they're doing me a favor by getting me something other than gold toe black socks. And then it raises my anxiety level. Because now I have this one pair of socks that sticks out from all of my other socks. I'm not joking though. I'm not joking. And then I'm looking, and I'm like, shit, you know. And then you know you finally
albino
you finally separate them. You finally separate them from the packaging to wear them, and then inevitably one gets lost. Right? Oh, why is my alarm going off?
I would know since Anina, the one thing I would do when you got on my nerves, I would just pick up some socks of other colors and stick them in there.
Yeah, see that's why you're only my radio wife. And now having said, and see that's why I'm on Team Warren.
just to see Eric's head explode.
Yeah. Yep.
Colors.
All right, guys, we're at 12 o'clock. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay warm, stay safe, socially distance, wash your hands, sanitize them, wear your mask.
Pray that Diane gets the right hairdo.
Oh, yeah, Diane, I want to see pictures.
We on the right track here. Things looking good.
Hey, here we go.
Amen.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see
All
you
right, love
tomorrow.
You guys. Oh, the show today.
Oh, yes.
It's on Black Love.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, a man and a husband and wife therapy, counseling. They're doctors in actually psychology. They specialize in black relationships.
All right.
So we're going to ask the hard questions about holiday, COVID stress, black stress. We're going to break down the myths about black men and black women. We're going to get to some answers here.
All right. Tune in, guys. Black Love. I'll be there. I got some questions, and I got some answers. See you then.